Good morning, everyone. Spiritual Essence here. As you can see from my head, I just woke up. It's 9:44 right now. And I know it's been a while since I've made a video about the dreams I've been having. Because for a while, when I was doing astral projection and meditating, it seemed like my dreams were a lot more vivid, but they have recently become so. And I honestly feel like there's something more to them. I have had a series of dreams. Not every night, but definitely quite a few in this week that made me wonder what's going on. So, I'm going to share with you the dreams that I've been having recently that make me think this. So the first one was me and my friend Cody were at this haunted location. I don't even know what kind of place it was, but I know it was a big brick building. We were in the front entrance. He went in first to check things out, and I was waiting outside. And I'm watching him inside just to, make sure nothing happens. And then I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. And I look, and there's it's the corner of the building that kind of opens up into another area. Well, there is a long, pale hand reaching its way towards me. And I start screaming. And when I do, instead of moving away, it starts flailing about. It's like, I don't know. I was surprised by it. It was surprised by me screaming. It was very creepy. I woke up scared. Which made me wonder, was it just in my head, or was something spiritual trying to get at me? After that night, I took my homemade prayer beads and I prayed with them to the one, and I slept with them in my robe pocket. And my dreams were fine. The second dream was me and my mom had gone out into the middle of nowhere. And I mean, it was like a heavily wooded area. It was nighttime, very dark. And I'm like, Mom, what are we doing here? And she's like, we're going ghost hunting. And I'm like, ghost hunting, which, for those of you who don't recall, on this channel, I did mention before that my family did used to go ghost hunting years ago, and I would go with them when I was younger, to different places. But after a while, I stopped going because my sister kept scaring me. And after that, my family just stopped going after that. And it was fun, but, spooky. But in the dream, me and my mom were at this very small cemetery. And the only light that we have is the flashlight from our phones. But somehow I am drawn to the back of the cemetery. And so we go, and there is this long stone headstone on the ground. It has some writing on it, but my mom is the one to read it. And the parts that I remember from it was, she said it was a young man who had killed himself by drinking chemicals. And I'm like, wow, that's on the grave? And I look down, and there's supposed to be a picture of him. I can see the outline, but it's blurred, almost like when you are filming someone who doesn't want to be on camera and you blur their face. It was like that. And I'm like, huh. And the thing was, sometimes, when you have dreams and it's like a series of dreams, you don't remember everything, but, there are certain things you remember. Well, at the beginning of the dream, I was in the cemetery, and then I went away for a while. And before I woke up from this series of dreams, I went back to the cemetery. Now, it's very, very uncommon that I go back to the same place that I was before in a dream. Very uncommon. So, Cody suggested that perhaps it was a spirit trying to tell me their story, which, it's quite possible. Oh, hi, kitty. Look at the kitty. Hi, Bubba's. So, come on. Anyway, I don't know anyone personally who has perished that way. So I don't know who this person was, this young man, but I feel like it was something. Now those could have been spirits trying to tell me something, or that one from the first one with the pale hand could have been an evil spirit trying to attach itself to me, or it could have been a spirit reaching out to try and tell me something. But the two dreams after that are dreams that are a little more specific, that I think are sent from the one. So, in the third dream that I actually had a couple nights ago, I was in this, what I can only describe as a temple. It was like an old wooden temple, beautifully painted with all kinds of colors, red, greens, blues, yellows. It was beautifully decorated and beautifully painted, but you could definitely tell it was ancient, and it was made of wood. I couldn't exactly see the outside of it, but from the inside, it looked like it was built in the shape of like a triangle. So it was like pointing upward. Inside were all manner of different things, ancient artifacts. And there were huge glass display cases filled with ancient dolls, ancient armor, scrolls, and many different artifacts from, it looked like, Japanese era, similar at least. And it was beautiful. I remember it was so peaceful inside. And for some reason, my sister was there. She was downstairs cooking, I think. And upstairs, there were 2 beds. One, and they were like double beds. I would say they were, yeah, they were both double beds. And they had these red covers on them and 2 pillows on each one. And they were on either side of the room facing each other. Now, each one, like the one on the one end of the room had a display case behind it, full of things. The one that I laid in was one with a glass display case on the side. And I remember turning over to look at the things inside of the display case, and there was this doll. It was about, I want to say maybe like 3 to maybe 4 feet tall. Decent size. And it was wooden, you could tell, and it was wearing armor and a weird mask. And I moved over and my body touched the glass case, and all of a sudden it like moved downward. And I was like, what's going on here? And that's when I woke up. And to me, that symbolized something. So if I go back into like analyzing the dream, I'm in an old temple. I'm in a place of ancient knowledge, worship. I am in a place of potential power, filled with ancient knowledge and wisdom, artifacts, maybe things from a past life that I do not remember. Or maybe something trying to give me the opportunity to have this ancient knowledge. And lying in the beds, being comfortable around this knowledge, not fearing it, embracing it. And I could never see outside of the temple, but I could tell at least a little bit that it was like a forest area. You could see some trees through the windows and tall grass. So I was like in the middle of a jungle or something. And then the final dream that I've had, which was last night, it was incredible. I was envisioning myself through different eras, from ancient to modern, as different people participating in events and rebellions that changed the world for the better. There was a lot of destruction. There was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of strife and stress going on. I remember there was one person where I was running on the rooftop of this big city, and there were explosions all around me, and I was trying to get to this one person. I don't even know who this person was or why I was trying to get to them, but there were explosions all over, and the city was just being wrecked. But in each one, at the end of it all, things worked out all right. You know, people were rebuilding. Corruption had been dealt with. Things were better. And it kind of gave me hope for the future that, you know, things are going to be all right, you know. And that my future will hopefully turn out right. And, you know, one thing I want to do is change the world for the better. I don't know exactly how yet. But I want to try and change the world in any way I can. But I really feel like this dream, the last dream specifically, was sent from the one to kind of reaffirm things about my life and my goals and what I want to do and what I should do going forward. Because I've been having like some doubts and rethinking about like, what should I do? What should I do with my life? What are the goals that I'm striving for worth it? And I think about, you know, the things in my life, the people that I've talked to and the experiences that I've had. And so many people, when I tell them that I want to change the world for the better, they're like, why? They're like, it's not even worth it, you know, because there's always going to be, you know, corruption and injustice. There's always going to be people screwing things up, and it's always going to be better for the people who are in power and stuff. And I said, well, it's that way of thinking that keeps things that way. I am going to indirectly quote from the Fable 3 game. True heroes fight no matter what. No matter how much the odds are against them or how slim the chances of success, it doesn't matter. They fight. And that resonates with me because it's just like, that is really, really interesting. You know, no matter what, they don't even know what the outcome will be, but they try anyway to make things better. And if you look throughout history, all the things people have done to change the world for the better, no matter how many people didn't believe that they would do anything or disavowed them, you know, and they did it anyway. And they proved everyone wrong. And so, if anything, let this be an inspiring video for anyone who also has ideas of changing the world for the better. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep working. Keep grinding. Save your resources. Find people with similar interests. Work together. And we can make the world a better place. Maybe not as one person, but in a collective. We can move mountains. And I truly do believe that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.